Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. We have an action-packed show. We're coming out hot because we had a hot PPI number. We had CPI earlier in the week. That woke some people up. Now we have PPI. And it's really starting to expose some people here in the financial industry because we're seeing interest rates go up. And that's the last thing a farmer wants to hear. As corn just made a new 3-year low. Seems like since we've started ATI Pro Media, we've talked about new 3-year lows a lot. But again, we're going to go over facts, not feelings. And I imagine with how much grains went down, your feelings are hurt. I have no one better to make you feel better than CB Connor Bridgman, coming from Assumption, Illinois. I'm not even sure if he's a broker anymore. I think he's just a full-time media guy. Wow, wow,
Oh,
wow. How about that show with you and Caesar and the Brazilian farmer? Can you talk about that a little bit?
absolutely. It was great. Cesar Cruz, head of research, originally from look at that perfect timing there, Corey. Thank you. He's originally got his doctorate at U of I, originally from Brazil. He lined up an interview with one of his acquaintances, Giovanni Parzianello.
I like the
Apologize
name.
if I might have butchered it, so I apologize, Gio. But great. It was fantastic. We just let him talk about the challenges he faced, what his family operations looking at. You know, they're harvesting soybeans, and at the same time, they got about half their corn crop in too. And so, what they're looking for the future. So many great points. Some things there's a lot of similarities, but one thing we need Cesar, and we got to get Gio on again. But the whole barter system that a Brazilian farmer is going to do is amazing to me. About how they're going to take corn, use that to prepay fertilizer for next year, and immediately just a swap, right? A straight barter system. I'd love to hear more about that, but give it a watch if you get a chance.
Joe, pop up how they take a look at that. I think you have that up there, the thumbnail. Now, that is on the Advanced Trading YouTube channel, and you can give that a watch. There it is, boots on the ground, premium content. Although that one was just a little taste of what premium content will be. That's right, Connor B. In the next few weeks, we're going to roll out the for real premium content. And for just $1 a day, you, the listener, the viewer, can have that also. We have a action-packed group of in-house people like Michael Reginelli is going to be doing a weekly special, and some of the other commercial brokers have decided to join ATI Pro Media. Some of us like us, some of us don't, but we're not going away, Connor B. As long as the internet works and it's 9 a.m., we'll be live. We also have outside people. And I don't know why anyone would be worried about educating someone. Doesn't it seem with corn at 3-year lows that we need more education than ever? And with all this AI technology, how did AI not have your corn sold for you? I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about that. So, premium content rolling out in the next few weeks, $1 a day. You will be able to click and subscribe at your own as you want. Hey, I got to duck out. I got a special gift. Hold on. It's
Here we
Friday,
go. What do we
and I
got?
can think of nothing more patriotic than the American flag.
My
First two people
gosh.
to email us at info at ATI Pro Media will get a free flag. Info at ATI Pro Media, free flag, or give us a call 1-855-737-FARM. You can see we don't have a lot to talk about because we're just filling it up with free flags
You're
and
you're on a
premium
roll.
content.
You're on
All
a
right,
roll.
but
Well,
wait,
let's
there's
get into the
more.
news. What else you
You
got?
learned that both Brazil. What was the best line from the show yesterday? Again, Joe, pop that up. When he goes, he said that Brazilian farmers tend to complain a little bit, and you go, "Really?"
He said Brazilian farmers could get a little frustrated or something along those lines, and I said some things transcend borders, Geo.
I love it. That's a great interview. Everyone go to
Uh,
Advanced Trading YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit that interview. It's under videos. We are under the live stream. Okay, let's get into the show. What do we have, my
yeah.
friend?
PPI. You want to touch on that real quick?
Came out hot. That's it. It's hot. Like inflation's not going away. It's that simple. We don't need to sugarcoat it. Let's go. Next line.
Yeah, that's the takeaway. Inflation's hot, and when I look at these prices, right, we're making. I don't know how many new lows we made this week on the corn market and a little bit on the bean market, but then I start thinking if we go back, what did you say, Tommy? 3-year lows. Let's adjust that for inflation. I would hate to see that number.
Yeah, you did show me a
If we-
little tidbit on Twitter. I was interested how they figured that out. But if adjusted for inflation, that it cost you a lot more than it did to produce corn and labor and everything else going on. I know your health insurance didn't go down the last 3 years. I know your labor didn't go down the last 3 years, and I know the price of a new combine in a truck to haul grain didn't go down. Um, you're not spending less. So yes, it costs a lot more to make a bushel of corn now than the last time corn was at this level. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, other one we have Putin critic Alexei Navalny dead at 47. Russian officials say this guy, correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy, he was in prison and he mysteriously died in prison. Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he, the same tricks we pull here in America, they pull in Russia. So he said he didn't kill himself, but he's not here to represent himself. What's the moral of the story? Cross Putin, and you go bye bye. So thoughts and prayers to anyone who's over there who has to deal with that. And you know what? Although you think that's crazy that happens in Russia, that really has happened here in America. We have mysteriously people die all the time. It always looks like suicide, but sometimes they were helped. I wasn't there. I can't explain it, but there's a powers to be in all countries, and you don't want to cross those powers.
Yeah, absolutely. Other thing Tommy, we got a 3-day weekend. Markets are closed Monday for President's Day, right? We've had China on holiday all this week, so we're gonna be markets closed, banks closed Monday, and today we're seeing a little. I don't know if I shouldn't call it a rally, but we've got green on the screen. Corn up, March corn's up penny and a half. March beans up 6. So we'll take it. Maybe what do you think? A little short covering ahead of the long weekend.
Yeah, also, we're probably going to see the cash markets improve. So at some point, the farmer's not going to sell. They're going to have to sell based on March, though. I mean, if they have March basis contracts, whether they want to sell or not, they're going to have to. Great question. Markets are allowed to go back up, like just like cattle are going back up today. Something weird happened yesterday afternoon between 12 o'clock and 4, we had 4 phone calls for people interested in opening accounts. And pretty much they're saying, help me. I was good at this a few years ago and now I'm not. And I have charts of what corn looked like a few years ago and what they look like now. Don't let your self confidence be based on the price of corn. You should have much better things going on than if corn's at $4 or 5. If you felt like a winner at 7 and you feel like a loser at 4, you need to go to church on Sunday and get your get straight, because the price of corn may stay down here for a long time. And so if you're going to be high as a kite for 2 years when things that had nothing to do with you, we're coming on the 2-year anniversary of the Ukraine war. And the Ukraine war, I have a video clip of me saying on the day Russia invaded Ukraine that this price rally was the devil. And come back in 2 years, and you are going to be haunted at what price corn is. And I can play that clip on the 2-year anniversary of that. We're going to say this is where corn was 2 years ago. This is where it is now. How did I know that? I knew that prices had went up to a level they should have never, especially in wheat and other things. And it sent a signal to the world for everyone to plant. And once you get people involved in this club called agriculture, they don't like to get out. So I do think high prices scare the heck out of me, because when we stay high for that long, we come down. Just like a drug addict, it's no different. If they're high, they're high, they're high. It's when they come off, that's when they're sick as could be. So we're in that rehab stage where we're trying to get off the drug at high prices. We're throwing up. We don't feel good. These March basis contracts are going to be ugly, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know we talk a little politics, we don't do a whole lot, but I'm going to get a little political here, Tommy. What can we do to get President's Day on Monday after Super Bowl Sunday, right? Who do I
I,
need to lobby for that to happen?
I like that. I like that. And we don't want to talk too much politics because, as you said, Michael Jordan said, even Republicans buy tennis shoes, right? And so, you know, everybody.
He said that on the back of the bus. You said it on a live show, Tommy.
I know, I love it, but he's right, and we need to help manage the risk for all people, regardless of your political affiliation. If you go back and look at the history of who's president and money's coming in and out of agriculture, sometimes it may feel like if a certain administration's in, things are better or not. Sometimes the better isn't the price of the corn, it's in the amount of money that was given to farmers through subsidies. So you have to combine the price of the corn and the amount of subsidies given. One thing I can tell you is that interest rates are exploding higher today. The price of corn's at a 3-year low. And I haven't seen any big emails coming out saying there's a big subsidy package coming out to farmers, as we now realize that many people who grew corn in 2023 have lost money on the 23 crop. So scary stuff. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I got a few. Let's fly through these charts, and we got a couple questions too, Tommy. But first
Sounds
one,
good.
we talk about Brazil. This is looking at Argentina. Argentina's crop conditions. We just released this yesterday. And the big takeaway here is when we look at crop condition, look where they were last year, that poor to very poor, 45%. This year, they're at 17%, right? We can debate. They've been hot the past couple weeks. They've been dry. But my main takeaway is we got to remember how bad a corn and soy crop they had last year. Same thing, even more dramatic on the soybeans. 53%, over half the crop was in poor to very poor conditions. This year, they've got it at 19%.
That's interesting. And the scarier thing is if I know you're getting some snow down there, we're getting
Yeah.
we're getting a little bit up here too. But
Yeah.
boy, if we can get the state of Iowa going in some moisture, that'd be great. Hey, heads up, something to think about. Just throwing you a curveball. Drought map came out for Canada, and on Monday or Tuesday, we need to not only look at the American drought map, but we need to keep an eye on that Canadian drought map that'll very much affect spring wheat, canola, and
Great point.
yeah, small grains like that. So I guess that's sad that we're looking for a drought in Canada to get things going, but we need to just keep going over the facts. And Canada is having a pretty good drought.
We
Do
need to pop
we
up the
chart?
Yeah, no, drought map. Just looking to be very interesting to see. You mentioned Iowa. Speaking of Iowa, congrats, Caitlin Clark.
Oh, that's a
Clark
big
just
deal.
broke that. But I'd love to see the changes that we've seen in just the past few months. How's that drought map change? So let's make sure to pop that up next week. So
Sounds
other
good.
than that, we got a question from Luke. Unless you got something else, Tommy.
No, we can skip the chart side. Just will say visually, I'll tell you what's happening. Nope,
Yep.
24 weekly chart. We are back to a support all the way back from May of 22. We are at that 1150 level. We need to hold that. If we don't hold that, that would be very bad. Go ahead, read the question, sir.
From Luke, how many times, if any, has farmer holding dealt an influence on futures prices? Of course, holding affects basis and therefore cash price, but what about futures? Excuse me.
As Connor takes a break to cough, I will take over. Hey,
I'm back.
and boom goes the dynamite, right? You ever see that clip of the
Yeah.
kid first time recording? And
Yeah.
he just stopped talking, and boom goes the dynamite. Well, Luke, great question. I will take a stab at that. I have been very vocal and a little obnoxious on going on national TV and saying the American farmer is going to stay in control. If we rallied a dollar, they were going to stay in control. This is when D's 24 was at 5 or old crop was a little higher. The American farmer was in control of that crop because they had one, the bin space to store it, and two, the capital to afford to be able to store it. If we rallied, they would have been in control. Now that we broke, they're still in control. So we expect to see basis improvement, hot cash markets, and the farmer's going to have that conundrum of, you're not going to believe this, but the ethanol company just called me and offered me 10, 15 cents better than where they were yesterday, but I hate to sell this price. If they were hedged, here's where your little story of marketing comes. If they were hedged, they can take off their hedges, sell that grain on that basis pop, take the money, that 15 cents they just got for that, go buy a May or July call. If they were short futures, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. They're short futures. They get the pop in cash. They sell the cash. They lift the futures, and then they can go to a conservative call or call spread position from there. Am I saying that right, Connor? I'm kind of new here.
Absolutely. I think you nailed it, Tommy. But also, just looking at, I think this is my opinion. This past couple of months, when we've seen a little rallies, right? We've been up 3, 4, 5 cents. It hasn't happened very much, but with the farmer owns this crop, I think when we get those rallies, we see the lid shut. Right? When any rally, it triggers farmer selling. So to answer your question, Luke, Tommy did a great job of it. But has farmer holding dealt an influence on futures prices? Absolutely.
Yep. All right. With that, do we have anything else? Let's roll the how people get a hold of us.
Yeah.
And we will get ready to close this show.
All right. We'll be doing this live Tuesday. We're closed Monday. Markets are closed. 855-737-FARM. That's how you get a hold of us. Send us an email, info at ATI ProMedia, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. If you need help, give us a call. If you need someone just to talk to, give us a call. 1-855-737-FARM. See you Monday or Tuesday.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.